You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys. And today, I wanted to do a lighthearted episode talking about some different topics and ideas that would be helpful for people this time of year to get their business growing as much as they can during the off season. Now, here's what I mean by that. What can you be doing right now to make sure that your feet are able to hit the ground running when the spring rush starts in March and April? So there's going to be a really quick list here. Let me just go through it really quick. Here's the cliff notes. If you like the episode, stick with me. If you don't, switch to another track. Totally get it. That's fine. You got a lot of options out there, but want to add the most value I can. And let's actually get down to business on this podcast episode today. Number one, I put building a website. Number two, hiring a bookkeeper. Number three, a marketing campaign. Number four, get your rate increase letters ready. Number five, get your commercial contracts going. Number six, fix and repair equipment. Number seven, shop your insurances. And number eight, get new merch for your company. So that's what I wanted to talk about for just a couple minutes, maybe on each topic, and just have a light-hearted episode today. We definitely went a little heavier on our Monday show talking about making money. And I had a ton of great feedback from that episode, which is great. Like when I get good, positive feedback from an episode, I interpret that as we're making a difference. We're changing people's lives. We're changing people's thought process. We're helping people make money. And so I really appreciate when you guys give me that feedback. I mean, shoot me a message shoot me an email, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Tag it, post it, share it. So many of you guys shared that episode. Really cool. Appreciate that. Leave me a 5-star rating and review if you guys don't mind. Let me know how we're doing on the show. Let me know how we're doing on the show, and hopefully we earn a 5-star rating. Let me just say that. I don't take it for granted. But in which way, these are the topics that I want to talk about today. So yesterday I had 2 coaching calls back to back. If you guys want to book a 1-hour coaching call, they're $249 for an hour. We get into it, man. They're discreet, they're private, they're confidential, any topic. We've talked marriage stuff, we've talked business stuff, we've talked YouTube stuff, we've talked social media stuff, we've talked pretty much every topic under the sun. And I had 2 really good coaching calls just the other day, back to back. And basically, in between some of those conversations, they were younger guys that we did the coaching calls with. They had said like, hey, what's some things I could be doing right now? Hey, here's what I am doing. What do you think about a website? What do you think about marketing? What do you think about this? And it really got me thinking, like, this is the time of year that it's appropriate. You should. I mean, hello, this is your opportunity to blow by the other guy that has taken his hand off the plow, his foot off the gas, whatever analogy you want to use. And he's just kind of coasting. He's just kind of coasting through winter. And, we jokingly call winter like the off season. But there's got to be a better term or something that we can come up with over the next couple of days, week, months, and years. If anybody's got some great suggestions, what we can call the quote unquote off season, because you don't really turn it off. I mean, we kind of downshift a gear, we kind of calm down, we kind of relax, we're plowing snow. But nonetheless, it's not like we just turn the business off, right? Like a friend of mine, he's got a saying, we may doze, but we never close, right? When you're in business, you're always thinking about your business if you're not physically working in your business. And so let me just kind of talk about what I'd like to do in the off season. And that's a lot of work, a lot of behind the stuff work. I mean, that's a great time for me to work on the business, not necessarily in the business, like one of those kind of deals. And so just a lot of words to say. These are the kind of topics that I want to go through for just a couple minutes here and maybe give you guys some ideas as we get ready for the spring rush, which, believe it or not, is 60 days away, 75 days away, 80 days away for you guys, for myself, right? I mean, especially if you guys in Florida. I mean, it's first part of January here. Arguably, you guys are back out there mid to late February, right? Maybe even March 1st, and you guys are back at it. And right now, you're probably still doing biweekly cuts and some prunings and some cutbacks, right? By the way, shout out to my friends in Florida. I love Florida. I'm going to be visiting Destin here in a couple of weeks, couple of months, actually, maybe about 2 months. I'm going to be a little bit more north on Florida. So I'm not going to be down Sarasota, Tampa, Clearwater areas, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Sometimes we try to travel at least once a year to Florida. Most of the time we reserve that for the winter to get rid of the winter blues and the cloudy gray skies up here in Michigan. it gets very, the term is seasonal depression, and it's a real thing. It's a real thing. I don't care what your mental health is, whether you believe or don't believe in that kind of, stuff. The reality is, like, after you've been in the winter and the dreary drum, wet, rainy, sleety, snowy days of Michigan, after about late January, February works on you, and you got to get out of here and just remember like why you live here. And then I always joke, in May, June, July, you get that summer amnesia, and you're like, Michigan is a beautiful place. The Midwest is a beautiful place. Like, we've had 3 boat days this year. Like, it's an amazing place to live. Even though if you live on the Gulf Coast or somewhere in the intercoastal waterways of Carolinas, like, you can go boat every day, right? One of those deals. So anyway, here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to hit the show ads, the show sponsors, the show announcements. We're going to kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. I want to hear a little bit more about what we got going on with Launchpreneur Academy, some of our partners and affiliates and all that kind of stuff. They are what keep the lights on. They are what keep the show going. I will be very proud to tell you guys that I'm 3 or 4 days now, whatever day we're recording this, into not having any soda for 2023. That is my first domino to kick on the health train to get more healthy and more fit, which is one of the 75 different goals I set, just like you guys. But in all seriousness, one of the things that I really wanted to do a hard pivot was on health was kick soda. So I am at the time of recording this podcast episode, 3 days in. You guys will hear this on the 4th of January on Wednesday. So I will be 3, if not 4 days into no soda. So I'm really proud of myself. But in the meantime, I do have my healthy alternative Uptime energy drink, the Blood Orange, and no sugar. And by the way, somebody had sent me a DM. They said Liquid IV is the way to go. And the 0 calories, 0 sugar, energy drinks or Gatorades, if you will, or Powerades. Of course, I try to stay away from the dyed colored stuff. But nonetheless, you guys are with me on the bandwagon. You guys can give me some encouragement. So I appreciate that. Can I be, transparent, and can I be honest and candid? Like, I'm a real person too. I got to kick vices, and there's stupid stuff that I do as well that I got to clean up. And I am not a finished product by any means. So just saying that as humbly as possible. I want to get healthier, get rid of the gut, and get rid of the double chin in 2023. So that being said, I'm going to get a quick sip of water here. I'm going to clear my throat, and we're going to come on back, talk about, I think it was 8 different things we can do, and we won't go long. We'll go super quick. About 8 things you can do this time of year to start prepping yourself over the next 60 days to get ready for the spring rush. Because here's the deal. Once the spring rush hits, you don't have time to do most of this stuff. You are in the thick of it, taking phone calls, doing the work, setting out bids and quotes. It's a wild time. So let's get in front of the wave. So that way, when the wave crests, we can get on there with our surfboard. We can ride that wave to the finish line, which is make a bunch of money in 2023. All right. So let's do this really quick. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and we will come right on back.
New program alert. The How to Get New Lawn Care Customers training program is now available. If you guys have ever struggled at acquiring new customers or are looking to grow your lawn care business, then this new program might just be for you. Looking to learn the best tactics to develop a successful postcard marketing campaign? We got you covered. Have you ever wondered how to use social media to exponentially grow your business and dominate the competition? We got that too. Whether you're just getting started in business or you're a seasoned vet, there's something for everyone in this new program available now, exclusively at LawnPreneurAcademy.com.
All right, guys, so let's jump right back into it. Let's talk about the 8 things that we can be doing here to get our business ready to rock and roll. And by the way, even if you're a veteran in the industry, you've been doing this for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, maybe there's a couple quick things that you can learn here as well, just to jog your memory. Half of the time I'm listening to a podcast. Yes, I'm looking for that 1 or 2 nuggets that can help me just kind of dial it in 1 degree. But then a bunch of other stuff is just kind of rehashing things that many of us already know, but bringing it to the forefront of our mind. And it's just a quick, friendly reminder. It's just a quick memory jogger to help us, stay sharp and be like, oh yeah, that's what I need to be doing. And you know what, frankly, that's a lot of business. It's not anything new all the time that you're going to learn. It's re-implementing and making sure that you're effective at the things you already know. Like, are you actually doing the day-to-day, right? So let's do this really quick. We're going to go through rapid fire. Number 1, update or build a website. This was one of the questions that I had on a coaching call was, what is the most effective marketing strategy that I could suggest? I said, hands down, number 1, it would be a Google My Business listing followed up with a quality professional website. And then number 3, it was postcards and yard signs. That was my trifecta, right? So number 1, get your Google My Business listing going. If you haven't already completed that, that's a free profile anybody can make, and you can add those, or you can have that added to the Google, website and the Google search engine. And anytime somebody types up lawn care near me or Scott's Lawn Care, whatever, or Lawn Care Novi, Michigan, you have the opportunity to at least rank and have your profile shared on that front screen where that front homepage of search where there's 5 to 7 to 10 suggestions or listings, right? Especially if you go into map view, you can start seeing like the different service providers around you. Like if you type in seafood restaurants near me, right, you can hit the Google Maps and you see 7 restaurants that serve fish and shrimp or whatever, right? So number 1, have an updated Google My Business website. And then number 2, have an actual built quality website. Like, obviously, you guys have heard a couple episodes now with my brother, Branded Bull Inc., Adam Fullerton and Lauren Teal. They are just crushing it right now. I think last I heard, like 80, 85 people are signed up with them, which is freaking insane. By the way, that's a good brother, man, generating like $250,000 of business in 6 weeks for your boy. So, I don't know. I don't know what is actually 85 times 2,000, 85 times 2, 170,000. Okay, whatever. Humble the ego a little bit, Fullerton. But any which way, he's doing great. You guys are signing up. So many great success stories coming down the pike. If you guys want to see the example of this work, outside of the other people that he's got shared on his Instagram profile, check out my website. I bought my own website. My brother's like, hey, this is what we're doing. There's a whole story there, right? You guys have heard on the previous 2 shows he was on. And I said, I want to support you. I need a website. I need to get more web presence. I want to get more snow specifically and more commercial specifically. So I want to buy a website. It was $1,800 or whatever it was. I think they bumped their rate a couple $100 because they're just so backfilled and supply and demand, right? But any which way, go to brianslm.com. I actually had a bunch of you guys say through coaching calls and DMs that you checked out the website. I was talking to another friend on the phone the other day because he was wondering about going with them. And I said, dude, check out my website. He goes, dude, I did. I've been to your website a couple times. He's like, it's a banger. I'm like, thank you. So that's all credit to Adam and Lauren with what they're doing. Anyway, now is a great time to build a website. 2 reasons. 1, again, you don't have time to build this thing in March, April, May. You got to get copy done. Copy is the wording, right, that you have on a website or a blog. So the copy, you got to get the copy done, upload photos. There's a lot of things that got to go into it, some conversations back and forth. It's not a spend 5 minutes on it and it's done kind of a thing. It could take 3 to 6 weeks to really build the website. They got to build the website on the back end, then wait for you. Then you have to do stuff and wait for them. They have to do stuff and wait for you, right? So any which way, if you got the funds now, by the way, I think they have like 2 payment options, like up front, it's like $2,200 or whatever it is, or 2 payments and it's like $2,400, whatever. Okay. I mean, if you can do $1,000 now, get that thing going, right? And let them start building that thing over the next 60 days for you. Have it up by, March 1st or April 1st. That way you can capture that spring rush wave, right? You have to have your fishing nets in the water to catch the fish. To me, the best way to do that is with a website. Anyway, not here to give a huge pitch on Branded Bull. Mention our name. They'll save you $100. Mention Brian on their website. They have a little submission form, drop-down menu. Tell them Brian sent you. They'll save you $100. And in this way, like they're super grateful, super thankful, super humble. They're building some bad to the bone websites, logo design, graphic design. If you need anything, just check them out. So number 1, build a website. Get your website updated. Get your website rebuilt. Update your photos. Make sure your links are active. Make sure none of your website links are broken. Another great time to ask customers for Google reviews from the 2022 season. I took my website from 72 Google reviews to over 100. I think we're at like 101 now for my actual business. So I really wanted to reach out to the 100 people that we did work for last year and just say if we can get a quick Google review. About a third of them responded and actually took action on it, which is great. All right, so number 2, hire a bookkeeper. This is something that you guys have heard ad nauseum from my podcast, Paul's podcast. They have got Gulf Coast Bookkeeping, the green landscaper bookkeeper. I forget her name, Joey and Megan. They're great people. I use Cycle CPA. That's who we suggest. That's who we refer people to. I've had some really, really good feedback with people signing up left and right with Cycle CPA. Carla and Joseph, they're actually hiring more people. They have a team of 10 already. They just hired an account manager alone just to take care of the referrals that we've sent and, of course, help manage on the business. We're nothing special, but it's just they're getting funneled with tons and tons of leads and calls and inquiries. So mention Brian. They'll save you $200 on the on-ramp towards cleaning up your books and or towards your first month of service. We talked at length about bookkeepers on our podcast before. I'm not here to give you guys a huge pitch on Cycle necessarily. What I would say is this is a great time to have conversations to hire a bookkeeper on your team. And I know it's like been a very popular topic the last 12 months. Everybody and their brother is like promoting certain things. I will tell you one of the most important things that transitioned Liz and I from going from broke as a joke to having a couple bucks to our name and having a business that we can be proud of and actually know what's going on and actually see the reporting and actually see the numbers, and my CPA can file my taxes and prepare my taxes correctly, has been based off of having a good quality bookkeeper. Okay. It is an imperative part of your team. It is a foundational pillar part of your team. It is a non-negotiable part of your team. Every business has somebody that pays attention to the books. I don't care if you are a HVAC business. I don't care if you're an asphalt company. I don't care if you're IBM. You need to have somebody managing your books. And it's not just logging your receipts in QuickBooks, okay? There's reporting, there's compliance, there's tons of things that go into what these folks do. And it is a non-negotiable line item for your company. I'm telling you straight up, I wish that somebody would have told me this 15 years ago and I was able to start with somebody from day one. I didn't know what I didn't know until Bedell pulled me aside and said, hey dude, like, how's your books doing? I'm like, they're literally non-existent. I'm like, we don't even have QuickBooks, okay? A CRM is not the same thing as accounting software with a QuickBooks, okay? So I would suggest signing up with a good quality bookkeeper. I love Cycle CPA. Carl and Joseph are pouring it out there. They're reinvesting everything they can into you guys as well. I've had nothing but great conversations. I've had a lot of people signing up with them lately. Fantastic. I have no ulterior motive other than I just want you guys to know what's going on in your business. $299 a month. It's just 5 years ago, I was like, dude, there's no way. I can't afford $300 a month. 5 years later, I'm like, oh my God, I would pay these people double. Okay, like for real. I'm just telling you guys straight up. I'm not a finished product. By the way, we have two businesses, right? So we have the same bookkeeper doing two businesses. And so I'm spending $500-$600 a month on bookkeeping services. It's a no-brainer. I'm so grateful, so thankful. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so now's a great time to on-ramp, right? Because you don't have all the time in the world to be like, hey, I'm Brian, I'm Carla. What's your story? Like, you can't be doing that in March, April, May. You don't have enough time in the world to be booking these meetings. You do have time to do that here in January, February, and March, okay? It's going to take a couple minutes to sign up. You got to get accounts synced. You got to sign some papers, get in bed together with everything you're doing, have your first couple meetings, make sure things are cleaned up. I mean, what a great time to sign up now before tax time. Your CPA could actually use your books of 2022 if Carla and Joseph are able to get to work on that stuff now, okay? Number 3, having a marketing campaign. I'm not going to go down this whole rabbit hole for at length right now. We can do another podcast another time, but now's a great time to start building your marketing campaign. And marketing simply is getting your yard signs printed up, getting your postcards printed up, seeing if you're going to do an EDDM or a Business Select campaign. A little plug here for Postcard Mania. Like, I'm not plugging these people just to plug these people. The reason I plug these people is I didn't have anything like this 10, 15 years ago, and I was throwing mud up against the wall that sees what sticks. These are people that I've personally assembled to help me grow my company. I want to make it available for you guys so you don't have to go through the thick of it and start sifting through a needle in a haystack to find great quality people. You've got a website guy. You've got a bookkeeper person. You've got Postcard Mania that can help with postcards and EDDMs and Business Select campaigns, which is like a +1 of EDDM. Like, these are great people and great services that are already there for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call, and you can start transforming your business overnight. I had to do hundreds of hours of Google research, YouTube searching, Google searching, vetting. When I hired a postcard company to build the templates that we have on launchpreneuracademy.com, you can buy that template for $75. We have like 16 or 18 different templates, 3-door hangers. You can take that template, you purchase it. It's a non-editable PDF art file. You take it over to Postcard Mania. They can edit it for free, and they do that to earn the print business, and they can print those off. And then you can go hand bill, which is putting them on mailbox or flags and all that mess, never in the mailbox. Or you can have them help you ship those out. When I was building those postcard templates, I had 3 false starts with 3 other companies to design postcard templates and redo my own dang templates. And so that's how much I put time and effort into this thing to care about you guys and care about my own business. And I can just say, people are like, hey, you got a good postcard person? For a decade, I'd be like, I got a local print shop, but they're not like able to do the volume that we're all hoping for. Out of nowhere, I find Postcard Mania, thank God. And we did a site tour with them actually the same time last year. And they ship like 1 million freaking postcards a week or something like that, or a day. It was ridiculous. They have an on-site UPS worker. They have a little station for UPS inside their facility just to break down some of the barrier of like time and travel, right? To have to take all these like shipments to the post office. They have an on-site person from UPS inside their print warehouse. B&B saw it was like the craziest thing ever. Like you have an actual employee from another company inside your business. It was the weirdest thing. I've never seen anything like it. All right, so get your lawn postcards made, get your yard signs made, get your flyers made, get them designed. I mean, you don't want to be worrying about this stuff in March and April, okay? Number 4, rate increase letters. We have a rate adjustment letter at launchpreneuracademy.com. It's $49 for the template. It is a very simple template. It's like 8 or 10 sentences. It's nothing super fancy. But here's the deal. If you don't know how to talk the talk or walk the walk, or you've never wrote a letter or grammar or punctuation, or you just don't have time, dude, it's $50 one time. If you raise one customer $2 and you have 30 cuts, you've already made $60. You just paid for the letter, not only for that year for that customer, but for the other 49 customers you have for the next 25 years that you have your lawn and landscape company, right? I mean, like that little letter that cost you $50 just brought in $25,000 worth of rate increases by like $1 per customer per 25 years. You know what I'm saying? That's outside of anything you continuously raise it or all that other mess, okay? And that's what if you only raise $1. Any which way, $49, get the template, email it or send it snail mail, whatever you want to do. Launchpreneuracademy.com/store. That's where those resources are. Get your rate increase letters ready to go, including your free lawn inquiry forms or agreements that you can download at the homepage of launchpreneuracademy.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom of the website. That's our free lawn agreements. We send those out all in spring. It's not a contract. It's just an inquiry form that we send out. Hey, what services do you want? We get it back, and now we can start booking on our calendar. I'm going to cover that on a whole nother show. Number 5, commercial contracts. This is a great time of year to start working on your commercial work. Yes, you will still get the low-hanging people that sign up in March, April, and May. But for most of my clients, we're going to have those conversations the first part of February. That's when I start sending out all my commercial contracts for renewal. That's when I send out all of our lawn inquiry forms. I send those all out February 1st. It's a very, very busy, week. Don't sleep on that because next thing you know, it's second week of February. It's Valentine's week. You're getting, distracted with that. Something else happens. You get a couple snowstorms. It's the 3rd, 4th week of February. Next thing you know, it's March 1st. The grass starts kind of peaking green a little bit, especially in the Midwest. You're like, oh, shoot, season's coming. And it just feels like you can't play catch up quick enough. It is a non-negotiable. It is a swarm attitude in my house where we swarm, we attack the first couple of days of February. Make sure that we get the commercial contracts out and our lawn inquiry forms out. Once I do that, I can take a breath and I can mentally focus on other things. But if not, I feel like it's this anvil constantly weighing over my head if it's the 2nd week of February, the 3rd week of February, the 4th week of February, right? And so I'm just telling you guys straight up, don't get caught with your pants down. That's never a good thing. And get those lawn agreements and your commercial contracts out the door the first part of February, maybe even sooner. If you guys are down south, some of the season might already be kicking off in February, March. Okay, so you might have to pull that up a couple of weeks. Number 6, in no particular order, fix and repair equipment. Most equipment dealers, they're in hardcore snow right now. And so sometimes you can't take your lawnmowers. Sometimes you can't take your leaf blowers, your trimmers to your dealer because our dealer literally said no lawn equipment until like February 1st or March 1st. Because I was trying to drop it off. I'm like, hey, let's get this thing already going. I'm like ahead of the people. If you guys are thinking 3 weeks ahead, I'm thinking 5 weeks ahead. That's what I try to do with just being preemptive on a lot of stuff in life. That being said, as soon as your dealer is able to start taking in spring equipment, or I should say turf equipment for the spring tune-up, get in there as soon as you can. If you wait until the 2nd week of March and your local dealer puts out their advertising for postcards, TV, and radio, hey, Winegard's, come bring your tractor in for its $79.99 tune-up. Like the minute that goes out, their queue just went from a 3-day turnaround to a 3-week turnaround. Okay? Get your stuff in there as soon as you can. Now's a great time if you can wrench on your own stuff, fantastic. You and a buddy, split a beer, go hang out, go fix your mower, go change the hydro fluid, do whatever you want to do. I don't have any warehouse space or shop space or anything like that or heated indoor space. So a lot of my stuff still goes to the dealer for equipment maintenance. It's in and out within a couple of days. I pay a couple $100. It's good to go. Couldn't care less. Life goes on. But keep your head on a swivel. Put a reminder on your phone, 1st of February, February 15th, get my lawn equipment in for service. Get your trimmers cleaned up, get your leaf blowers, the valves adjusted, blah, blah, blah. That's a great time to keep that on the top of your mind. Okay. Number 7, and we're going to be rounding this up really quick. And number 7, this is a great time. I said this on a previous episode. Shop insurance. This is a great time to shop your insurance, your truck insurance, your commercial auto, your general liability insurance, your workers' comp insurance, your short-term disability, your long-term disability, your life insurance, your general tool policies. Have a $5,000 tool policy. If your locker gets raided, your shop gets raided, your truck gets raided, have a general tool policy for $5,000 for $150 a year of coverage. Inland marine policies. That's your mowers, your aerators, your plows, your your fertilizer, sand and fertilizer machines, right? Your Lescos and your Z sprays. Those are called inland marine policies. I have one on my ATV. If that thing we're riding and it rolls down the side of a hill or a cliff, no problem. 3 weeks later, I'll have a new quad. Okay, it's $200 a year for these kind of pieces of equipment. Make sure, number 1, they're insured, and number 2, make sure you're not paying on policies that for equipment that you no longer have. Corey Ballard shared a podcast a year and a half ago. Great episode. He was talking about how they were spending like $30,000 a year. We're talking a $20 million company, but they were spending $30,000 a year insuring equipment that they didn't even own anymore, like skid steers and just trucks and all this mess. They were paying $30,000 worth of insurances, right, to insure all this stuff they didn't even own for God knows how long, a couple weeks, a couple months, a year, right? Until somebody actually was like, hey, doing an inventory. I couldn't even imagine. Imagine how many lawns you got to cut or how many pavers you got to lay or how many lawns you got to fert to pay $30,000 in gross revenue for your bill, for your insurance, for something that you don't even own. I mean, talk about ridiculousness, right? Corey also gave a great tip there was company cell phones, company work shirts, get that stuff back, clean that stuff up. He had guys that had cell phone insurance plans, for probably managers and above or foremen and above that they were paying the bill for. And you're like, look, dude, it's only $50, $80, $100 a month per guy, but you have 3 cell phones out there that you haven't collected on, and you're paying $100 a month at that level. For some of you guys have $1 million plus company. $300 a month times 12. What is that? $3,600 a year, just straight out the door, dude. That's straight profit. That's a small, nice family vacation. You can go to Florida for 4 days, 5 days with flights for $3,500. I mean, that's some good money. So anyway, clean that stuff up. Just do a quick little inventory. I'm not a big save your way to wealth kind of a guy. You got to make your way to wealth. You got to make money. But at the end of the day, you can shore up some waste, fraud, waste, and abuse, right? You can shore up your waste behind the scenes with little stupid stuff like this. Shop your dumpster rental fees. Shop your suppliers. See if you can get preseason discounts. I heard a bunch of great tips from the Kid Contractor podcast the other day, talking about taking advantage of preseason pricing, last year's pricing for this year's pricing. If you can put it on payment terms, negotiate a little bit. Shop inventory. See if you can get bulk pricing, bulk rates. A lot of you guys that do fertilizer buy, semi truck worth of, 12 skids of fert and all your different chemicals that you guys have. Now's a great time to be loading up on that, getting some great favorable payment terms, so on and so forth. So anyway, to go back to that topic, little tangent there. Shop your insurance. I've said this many times before. Not all insurance is created equal. Like a State Farm, they might be great at commercial auto, but they are not great at motorcycle insurance. And maybe I don't even know another one. Like when you do podcasts like this, your brain goes dark. At least that's how it works for me. But let's say you got Allstate. Allstate is great for motorcycle insurance. And you're like, Allstate, can you do my commercial auto? And they're like, yeah, it's $2,000 a year. And State Farm can do it for $1,100 because they specialize in commercial auto, but Allstate doesn't, right? Or there's Progressive does. I think Progressive does a lot with boats and campers and RVs and motorcycles and wave runners and ski-doos, like the alternative, the accessory type equipment and toys, if you will. State Farm, there's many things that they're like, yeah, we're just not competitive. My girl tells me, she's like, we're just not competitive. There's no way. We already know. Shop that around. And so anyway, some people are like, it's a hassle or it's cumbersome to switch policies. I get it. But you know what? I had a personal example. I was paying $1,300 or $1,400 a year for my commercial auto for one of my trucks. I bought a new trailer. To have that trailer be pulled by my truck and to be insured, State Farm required that they had, whether it was a gimmick or not, I don't think it was a gimmick, but to have that trailer be insured through State Farm, they had to insure the vehicle that pulled it. Okay, sure. I was like, that's kind of a gimmick, kind of slimy, but let's see how it goes. Anyway, I took my policy, literally verbatim, forwarded the email from my first person to my State Farm people that have a majority of my policies. They compared everything apples to apples, and they took the rate from like, I was paying like something like $1,400-$1,500 a year, and they got it down to like $1,100 a year. Same deductible, same coverage, same comprehensive or whatever, all that other mess. Apples to apples, but I was able to save $400-$500 a year. That's a lot of money, even if it was $300 a year, right? $300 a year is a lot of money. I mean, I would take that all day long. Any which way, now's a great time to shop your rates, add insurance, make sure you have adequate insurance. You're like, hey, this year we're getting into more commercial. You've never done commercial before. You've only done residential. You have $300,000 to $600,000, liability insurance. You need to get to $1 million or $2 million. Now's a great time to have those conversations now. That way, when you get the first call for a bid for a commercial site March 1st, you're not like, oh, shoot, we need to upgrade our insurance and we got to put this commercial proposal together. I've never put a commercial proposal together. LaunchpreneurAcademy.com/store. We've got a contract for that. But you know what? You need to be focused on the proposal, not focused on the stupid insurance, right? Anyway, quick tip there. Let's wrap this up with number 8. This is a fun one. This is an easy one. I put new merch. It's a great time of year to renew your merch. Get new shirts, get new hats, get new beanies, get new sweaters, get new hoodies. It doesn't mean you have to like splurge, $5,000. But I'll tell you what, like if you want to instantly take your pride in your business to the next level and the guys working for you's pride in your company to the next level, dude, get them some coats with your company name on it. Get a coat with their name on it, get it embroidered with their name. You can always take the embroidery out if they move on. Just tell them you want that, $250 Refrigiwear or Carhartt jacket back, whatever. But get new merch. I'm telling you what, like, ask the guys what they want. Hey, do you guys want short sleeves, long sleeves? Obviously no cutoffs. Do you want short sleeves or long sleeves? Do you want polyester or cotton? Do you guys want hats and beanies? Do you guys want flat bill hats? Do you guys want rounded baseball caps? Do you guys like trucker hats? Do you guys like the leather patch logoed? You guys know what I'm talking about, the leather hat. The hats with the leather patch, I should say. Josh Sutton with Sutton Outdoor. He's got his side hustle where he makes laser engraved hats with the leather patch. Shout out to Josh. Reach out to him on Instagram. All this kind of stuff. Those hats are like $40 a pop. A regular baseball cap's like, $10. Maybe not. A regular hat's probably about $20 still. But get new shirts, get new merch, change up their colors. Like you had grays before, get the alternative color. If you're a gray and orange business, get the orange ones. Like different seasons, different brands update their logos, teams update their colors and their logos. Modify some things like that. Maybe spend a couple bucks and modernize some things or get some different shirts and merch. It is a peculiar thing to me when I see somebody wearing a 20-year-old company shirt. I'm like, that's cool, dude. Like that's your vintage shirt, but like, get some new shirts, bro. Like it's $10, it's $20 a shirt. Like it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Anyway, we can have a whole list here. That's my top 8. I think these are very, very helpful tips, very, very practical tips. I thought this was some great things. This is some of the stuff that we're doing right now behind the scenes. We've been working on some of this. We're going to be working on more of it, of course. The whole like off season thing, like there's no such thing as off season. There's no such thing as like downtime. Not for me, not for anybody who's growing. I've said it many times on podcasts before, and I heard this from somebody else. The only way to coast is downhill. So there's never a coasting. If you do, you should better get your head on a swivel pretty quickly because the way you're traveling is probably not the direction you want. You know what I'm saying? So any which way, these are the things that you can do during the off season, if you will. But to me, this is just some things you can do to stay productive. People are like, I don't know what to do to grow my business in the off season. I'm like, these are 8 things that you could spend dozens and dozens of hours on that unfortunately, whether you're a $0 to $1 million company, until you have dedicated people working on these dedicated things, these are the things that you need to be doing in the off season when you have a little bit more time. Okay. You just can't do this stuff in March, April, May. It's impossible. It's like the Cheerio bowl analogy. Like you dump some milk into the bowl and the Cheerios go all over. You can't save all the Cheerios, like putting all the Cheerios back in the bowl. Like get as many as you can, but you can't get the ones that spill out. That's kind of the spring rush. And the last thing you need to be worrying about a Cheerio spilling over the side of the bowl is a website or updating your Google page or, getting new merch. That's all non-productive time. You can do all that right now. Okay. That's what I got for you guys on today's show. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Our podcast, our YouTube channel, our Instagram, it's all about real, authentic lawn care, guys. We're helping to grow a real business, a real successful lawn care company. I'm really, really proud of that. Our company has grown like crazy the last couple of years. We're going to crush it in 2023, just like you guys. If you can enjoy the show, hit that follow button in the top right. You'll get a plus sign. That means that you guys are subscribed to the show. And all that simply means is that every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, your phone knows to beam up to the RSS feed, download the latest episode. That way, when you guys walk out the door to plow snow or to cut grass and make that cash, the latest episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast is downloaded to your phone and you are ready to rock and roll. We appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. Let's kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer. I'm signing off. You guys have a great rest of the day. We will catch up with you guys here on Friday.
Enjoying today's show? Motivated to take your lawn care and landscaping business to the next level? Learn what it takes to grow your lawn and landscaping business today with training and education from the Lawntrepreneur Academy. Get educated with how-tos on mulch installation, plowing snow, aeration and overseeding, and so much more. These training programs are designed to help you save time and make more money with your business. Invest in your future by first investing in yourself. Use promo code PODCAST to save 10% on all courses today at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.